And we are live on Facebook. Good evening, my friends. Baxter Cribbs here with you from Training with Baxter. Hope everyone's doing very good today. Have not been on here in quite some time. Different things going on in life, different changes. I actually had not been on here in so long that my Facebook Live here was so different. I had to figure out what it was doing and what it was not doing. And I'm trying to learn something here again, very new. I just don't know where that's at. I see what something it just done. But anyway, let me fix this here, y'all. Sorry about all that. Like I said, everything is kind of new to me here again. It's been a while since I've been doing some Facebook Lives. Many things in life that get in the way sometimes of our growth pattern. Even though we might not be on here, we're still doing things, or at least I am, and I hope that many of you are as well, as many others are, as I've been learning here and learning there. And sometimes, though, again, things just happen in life. Your day job, your time, whatever happens, you get divorces, or your new children come into it, just different things. And it hadn't been on here in a while, and I want to apologize for that and start off here this evening as I was learning from a guy named Brendon Burchard, and I'm sure that many of you have heard him, and I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly whenever he talks and he comes on his videos. He's very excited and he talks real fast, and then he gets into the study. And that's a good thing. I like that because he gets right on into the point. And so this is what I want to kind of do this evening here. And I can't give you the whole thing of what I learned from a video I watched of him, because it was like almost an hour of this very thing here that I'm talking about here. The number one mistake, which is what he talked about. I don't want to, like I said, just give a couple of pointers off of what I've learned, because what he said made a lot of sense. And when we sit down and you think about it, it happens to the best of us. And I'm certainly not the best, but I am on that progress road of getting there. But one of the things that he talked about in this, and I'm not going to give us away right away, but he said that whenever we start out in our very first business, our very first whatever you might be in, excuse me, whether it is a network marketing thing, whether it's an affiliate marketing, whether it's your home business of some sort, whether you have Avon or Young Living or whatever, you got something going on that you're trying to be successful in. And when you start out these things, he says the very first thing that we do, he says, is we have desire. We have a lot of desire. We want to achieve something. We want to get up here. We want to make ourselves, our life better. We want to have more freedom. We want to move and to get ahead in life. And so we have a desire to go and do the things, he says, that are out there for us to be able to do. As we see, we have our vision board, we have our goals, we have everything that we need to have to get us success in life, or we think that we do. And if we don't, we have a desire to be able to go and achieve those things and to get them in our, nothing just stops us. I mean, you know, you're pushing because you have this great desire to make it successful. The second thing he says we do when we start out, in our very first thing, he says is that we study. And we do. I mean, I did. I went back. I looked at things that I'd done as I listened to him, and he talks about what's going on. That there are many, many books that we have, many videotapes and recordings of different things, and I even have it on my phone. So even now, as I travel throughout the day, whenever there's a quiet time, that I'll turn it on my phone and listen to those people talking and encouraging and strengthening and learning new things and hearing what they have done. I actually have the recording that he done on my phone now, so that I can listen to that whenever I need to refresh myself in this as well. Because I only listened to it once, and that was last night. And so I thought, this is a great thing to share. Here's a great opportunity for me to get back into my groove of being able to come on and do Facebook Lives with people and to be a part of my business in this respect like I want to be, and to help myself grow some more. And so we study. We have shelves, shelves full of books that we can look into, and we learn. As I look here in front of me, I have a podium here, and I got 3 open books that I've been going through and looking at this and looking at that and learning bits and pieces. And I know in my other rooms in my house, as I travel through, as I stop somewhere, if it might be that I get up in the morning and I have my counter there and I sit down, there's a book there to read. There's a video there to watch on the computer if I want to. And so as we begin our journey, we have great desire to learn these things. We know study is necessary, and we put ourselves into that, and we sink ourselves into that knowledge, hoping to become and expecting to become successful at whatever degree it might be. Success is many different things and many different people. But we do those things and we immerse ourselves in that so that we become good. The next thing he says that we do is that we know that in that first year or two, there's going to have to be some grind. You know, it's kind of like, as I was talking with a coach the other night, and she was kind of chastising me because I had gotten into a sticking point because I was working, and it seemed like nothing was getting done. And so I was doing the grind, in this thing. But she said, I forgot what she said all of a sudden. Anyway, it'll come to me in a minute. But as we're working, we know that there is a time we have to grind. We got to put forth the effort. We got to work on that ourselves, and we got to put ourselves in a place of, and here it is, it came back to me, that like an airplane, when an airplane goes down the runway, and I got this from Brian Tracy years ago, that it has to, whenever it starts off, they have to pull that throttle all the way back, and they give it all the juice of the sky, so that it takes off our runway. It's going to get that air, and that air is going to help push that airplane up. And now when that airplane reaches the level of coasting or cruising level, if you will, they can pull back on the throttle a little bit. But until you get up there, you can't do that. So we know and we understand when we start our business, we have to get it off the ground. It might be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. It depends on where we started at, and before that, having knowledge of what we needed to learn and all those things that we did not know or do know as we started into this business here. And so we have to have that grind. We expect that that's going to be there. And he says in this, he said, so we have a desire, we know we got to study, and we know we have to put out the effort, and that's where we go to get up to a point of success. And I don't have nothing written up here, but that's the idea, is to get to a point of success, whatever it may be. It might be the first rank in your network marketing business. It might be your first sale. Who knows what it might be. You have a goal, you've reached it there, and now. He said, and he realized, he says, this is what this is here. And I hope that I can do this here correctly, as he kind of gave this. What these things here are, these here things here, he says these are, let me write that right, are a struggle. Because this is what we're doing. We're learning. We're struggling, we're putting out the effort, and we say this is part of it. We need to, and we know that it's part of it, and we say we expect to struggle to get to these points here, up here, of success. I'm running out of space, ain't I? So, but we want to get there. He said now, and I'm going to do this here in the short term, but he said this is what happens, is that when we get through this here and we reach this point right here, and we want to go up to another level of success up here, whatever it may be, he said all of a sudden, he said the number one mistake that we make, and he goes to a great lengthy detail of describing it and making you feel bad because what he's saying is true, and I do know it's true, is that we think, okay, I did all this to get here to the first level, so to get up here, I don't have to do all that. And I've done that in a very abbreviated form. I mean, he really, really brings that home to you if you sit and listen to his speech that he gives. And the reasoning that behind that is that we know this is here. But once we've made that, we say, now I don't have to struggle. I know it all. And even though we don't know it all, and we realize we really don't know it all, but we say, I don't have to struggle now. I shouldn't have to put as much effort out to get to here because I already did it down here. But every time we make another step up, there is the same process that has to be involved, or we're not going to get there. And we go, What happened? You know, what happened to the intensity that we had out there? We didn't make it where we wanted to be. And he said, here's where it is. You lost your desire. You didn't study like you knew, because every level you get to, there's new knowledge to obtain. Every level you get to, there's grind. There's different levels of grind, as he goes on to describe, because he has 3 more things up here of how to make this level easier, but these things still have to be involved. And so I just wanted to bring that to our attention, that many times, and I said this is the simplest form of it, but Brendon Burchard does a really good job of explaining as he sees these things, and he's done this for 20 years, he talks about, and he sees that we lose our desire once we get to the first level, where our desire is not as high. We don't study as hard. We don't put out the same amount of grind to be able to get there. And that's the number one mistake of trying to reach the next level, is we forget those things. I think I've said that 3 or 4 times. Maybe I got the point across. I don't know. But anyway, he had to say it to me because I had to go back and listen again and again. And I said I heard it one time. I did. But yet I had to still go back and go through that again, because listening to another's point of view, and if you put yourself and evaluate yourself truthfully, then you will realize that to obtain every level, you have to have these things in place. They may not be as hard, because some of the things you learn as you go along, you can put systems in place, you put this in place, and you learn how to do all these other things. But we forget were with the basics that got us there. My friends, I hope this has been helpful. First time I've been on it a while, and I hope to be able to continue to do this with you, to be able to come into training, to share good things I learned from you, because I learned from the people around me, and sometimes from you as well, as I read the things that are out there on your pages. And I hope that you will share this video with others if you like it, if it's beneficial to them, and also stop by our page, and we will see you tomorrow night. Thank you.